Hi everyone, it is fig season and I am going to show you how to quickly and easily make a delicious bourbon fig jam in Pampered Chef's Deluxe Cooking Blender. If you are someone who makes jam by standing over the stove for hours stirring and stirring, or if you've always wanted to make jam but you're like, oh, it's too much trouble, this is for you. And I'm so excited to show you how quickly and easily this can come together. So I've got my figs here. You want about 1 cup of figs. So I'm just gonna take my coated Santoku knife and you just cut the stem off of the fig, cut them in half, and you want about 1 cup of figs, which I have here in my silicone container. So you just take the Deluxe Cooking Blender lid off. What's great about this Deluxe Cooking Blender is that it actually heats up. It cooks for you, thus the name Cooking Blender. You don't have to pre-cook anything. You can make soup in here. You can make jam. You can make sauces. You can make smoothies, frozen drinks, nut butters, milks, oat milk, almond milk, you name it, you can make it in the Deluxe Cooking Blender. And best of all, it has a self-cleaning function. If only our homes had that. So with the Deluxe Cooking Blender, you do get a cookbook that comes with it with different recipes for all of the different settings. This is not included, but there are instructions on making jam, and this is one of the easiest. You always want to put the ingredients in order. So we're just adding our figs in there, and then you want ½ a cup of sugar. Now some jam recipes call for a lot of sugar, usually as a second setting. This one, everything goes in all at once, and because figs are sweet already, you only need ½ a cup of sugar. Also, because of the nature of figs, you don't need pectin. But pectin, really easy to get. It's right there in your grocery store with the Jell-O and pudding section. Then we're gonna add ½ a lemon juice. And here is a tip. If you have a lemon or lime and you wanna get them really juicy, just roll it on your counter a little bit. So we're just gonna cut this in half, and I'm gonna squeeze it into a glass mixing bowl. If you put this into any type of plastic, even food safe plastic, you will get that cloudy look to it because the citric acid is bad for plastic. So we're just gonna squeeze this out and get as much juice out of it as we can. Add that in, and then it's a tablespoon of water and a tablespoon of bourbon. If you don't want the bourbon in there, you can replace it with 2 tablespoons of water, but it doesn't really taste overly bourbony. It's just that little hint that brings out the fig flavoring. Just gonna add that in there, and then it's a ½ a teaspoon of vanilla. I happen to have Pampered Chef's double strength Madagascar bourbon vanilla. It's double strength, so you only need ½ the amount. So this calls for ½ a teaspoon. I'm gonna do 1/4 of a teaspoon. We're just gonna pop that right in there. All right, and then simply put the lid on, turn it on, and you're gonna set it to jam. And it's gonna heat up to 220, and it'll keep mixing. And in a little while, we will have fresh jam. You just start that right there. And there it goes. It starts at about 70 degrees, and it's just gonna keep doing that. We'll see how long it takes to have some delicious jam. So in just under ½ an hour, the Deluxe Cooking Blender has beeped, and it's telling me to add. Now, normally when you're making a jam, at this point, this is when you're going to add the sugar and start up again. But since we've got our sugar already in the fig jam, we're just gonna hit cancel, and we are all done. And you can hear it and maybe even see it bubbling. How simple is this? And it makes a great gift as well, because you're gonna start making jam all the time now that it is so easy to make. So we are just gonna turn this off. We're going to release our lid. And you can see the steam coming up because it is so hot. Just gonna take this right off, and then we're gonna pour it into a container. I need to get a spatula to get the rest of this out. So just make, for the fig jam, it's about 1 cup, so you can make several batches, but you don't want to make them all at once because you don't want it to overflow when it starts bubbling. So small batch is best for this. Other jams can sometimes fill a full mason jar or even beyond that. It depends on the fruit and the recipe. But I do hope that you've enjoyed this demo. Check out my YouTube channel for other recipes and demos and so much more. Of course, follow me on Facebook at Entertaining Eats. And if you have any questions or need any Pampered Chef, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much.